Hello, kindred spirits. Before I go on, I just want to make note for anybody who signed up for my newsletter and have not read it, you might want to do so this morning if you're watching this on Sunday.
Well, I just found out that a mattress I purchased on Thursday, where I was told maybe a week or two for delivery, is coming today, Saturday. Not even 3 days. So my just made bed, I'm going to unmake it. And once again, it's Saturday, so I figured I'll just wash the bedding today instead of tomorrow, my Sunday washing day. And I noticed something I think kind of cute, unplanned. Willow's raccoon matches the bedding perfectly. I don't think I could have matched that color any better. All I need to do is carry this around when I'm doing some bedroom matching. But so yeah, I have to unmake the bed. I figured I'd give the bedroom a really good vacuum, and I also have carpeting that's going to be coming here. Emma's bedroom, I had to do a whole different carpet. It got delayed. I mentioned that in another video, and it's holding up the construction of our bedroom because we need to get Emma upstairs into her bedroom so that Ben and I can use the guest bedroom, because they'll be accessing the bathroom for the remodel through our bedroom door, which is right over here. So it's kind of one thing to another. So I went and selected another carpet that was on the board. It's a little darker. This is the color I was going to do in Emma's bedroom. This is the color I ended up selecting that it is in stock. And then this is the one that we will use in our bedroom if the size is right. I still have to measure. On the board, it's a little darker. It's going to look great. And then her carpet that is a little bit more in the gray taupes, which is exactly this color. I'm going to use that order for this room. I just have to make sure the measurement works, and they're going to bind it, and it's going to be off the walls in here about 18 inches because we have heat radiators on the floor out quite a ways. So I think that's going to work. I just have to measure. 22 by 12 is the size of what's coming in. So I'm going to measure that after the mattress comes, or I might have time to measure it before they arrive in about an hour or so. So yeah, I'm going to finish vacuuming, strip the bed, and it was not on my plan. I was going to go out in the garden and get some black-eyed Susans and put them in a pot, which I found that I had. It's a enamel old coffee pot. I think that'll be really pretty for the kitchen. And I'm not going to say I'm decorating for fall, but I'm decorating for September, and it has a little fall touches. And I may have found a couple items yesterday at a thrift store that I'm going to show you. And I want to show you a little child's chair I found at our free swap shop in town. I did take it to an antique dealer to look at. And what else? Just a few here and there. As many of you know, I was sick last week again, and I can't even tell you what's going on. I went through a battery of a lot of tests, CAT scans, a lot of tests. It's coming down to right now, they're waiting for a lot of tick-borne tests to come back. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details, but so many symptoms that keep hitting me. And so now they said it's going to be quite a while to get all those tests back. And if they didn't do the type of tests some of my friends have told me about, where they do about 10 different types, then I'm going to demand that afterwards, because I have had tick bites. I have had the rings, but I was told it was just the saliva of the tick bite making that ring. You know, who knows? If this comes back negative, I'm going to push for that other test. And if that comes back negative, we'll just have to keep doing more tests and see what's going on with my body. So I don't know. But let's not talk about that anymore. This is a feel-good, happy channel. We don't talk about downer stuff here. So I'm going to vacuum, get the bedding done, and then just do a little bit of puttering around the house. And I'm going to show you some updates on the barn. And I even have some snippets from 2 weeks ago, getting some things from the garden and putting some flowers together. And it was funny. I had to call Carla, who some of you might watch her channel, My New England Story, And I said, you're not going to believe this. If my video went live on Sunday, you and I would have been showing our basket of vegetables and our little flowers next to it. It was so close. It just shows how kindred spirits and best friends can really do very similar things when it comes to decorating. So I thought that was funny. So I'm going to probably show that today too. So let me get going, and I will show you a little bit more of what's been happening the past few weeks actually.
Well, it is Monday morning right now. I am up and about. No, actually, it's Tuesday morning. I guess I'm not all right there. But it is now 50 degrees. I have on a fleece and I have on a little vest. It's nice and chilly. But I'm coming outside to do just a little bit of some business idea writing, and I thought I'd show you the New York ironweed just starting to open up. The hummingbirds, love that. The phlox are all opening, and even though it's a pain, I do love seeing the morning glories once they're open, but boy, they like to climb all over the garden. Some tansy growing back there. But I thought I'd just sit outside here and enjoy the quiet before the guys show up, which normally they're here by now, but this is how much of the barn is done. Just a group of 3 guys, and I can't believe how they're powering through it with such large beams and posts. Yeah, post and beam. Oh, and plenty of apple mint. I don't know if I showed it already or if I'm going to show it after, but I filled a basket. I couldn't believe how fast these banana peppers started. So they are a later bloom than the jalapenos, and there's so many more growing. So I'm going to be pickling these. I love banana peppers on tuna sandwiches, on pizza, and the garden is doing well. The cucumber. This is one cucumber plant. I remember when I first started gardening as a sole homeowner, and I overplanted cucumbers and zucchini. I couldn't stop them from coming, so I've learned my lesson. One plant. I really wish I put some pumpkins here, but I'm going to do that somewhere in the yard at one point. But yeah, and I love how the lemon verbena took off here. It did so well in Groton, but not so much here. Well, it's finally doing well. And I've already been just picking the tips here and there and making some tea with it. But so I'm just going to sit and relax right now until it gets noisy out here. I don't recognize this plant as something I've ever planted here in the yard. I'm going to have to do a snap of that. Get this tree out of the way. Let me see. I got to get rid of this book in my hand. I'll use it. So, whoopsie. Yeah, so I don't know what this is, but we'll find out right now. Well, yes, this is a new one for me. It says it's called Orpine, or Witch's Money Bag. Bring me the money. So I'm guessing maybe a bird dropped this. I don't know, but another find in the garden. This is actually right against the side wall where Shannon and I dig. Speaking of digging, oh, I'm not going to climb through that stuff right now, but on the wall there, some of our things that we found. We have some old tool pieces, such as hoes and shovel heads. I'm going to kind of scrape them up a bit, paint them black, and they're going to go on some display board, maybe in the barn or one of the sheds. We have Miss Willow here assessing the situation. Just enjoying looking around. I ended up bringing in some of our corn
the banana peppers, and some green beans. And I am so thrilled with the corn. Even though it was small, it was delicious. So I will be doing this again next year, and I'll be doing it right. I literally just threw them in when I pulled out the blackberry bushes. So we'll have better luck next time. And I also brought in some flowers from the garden, except for the rose. That's from the one I had on the kitchen counter. But I have poppy here. The poppies keep coming back. I love it. And I have some sweet peas, the pansy. I have some of the apple mint, and then some scarabosa stuck inside there. Just all little pretty colors. Oh, and there's some dianthus also. I forgot I had that tucked in there. And then just a couple little green leaves. A sweet little arrangement tucked inside one of my hotelware pieces that I picked up in Newport. The next day, an early morning walk with Ben and Willow before we start our day.
Got to bring your bling cup while you're walking on a country road, right? Willow found herself a little frog. Where'd it go? Are you helping it find the water, Willow?
Back inside the house, I have some apples here in the dehydrator. These are apples from our tree, and I'll share a little bit more later in the video. Now that I know that the carpet will be coming sooner, I'm going to get this bed ready. I'm lightly sanding it. I was going to prime it, but the paint that I have says that it's also a primer, so I'm going to give it a try. And I'm doing the inside of the footboard right now where the mattress goes so I can give it a test. I'll show you closer later, but the barn is coming along and you can see where the cupola is going to go. I think next week they're going to put the stairs in so they can start working upstairs a little. And I've been working in this little garden area. I've hand trimmed the boxwoods here, and I'm going to shape them a little bit more later. And I brought in some planters that I'm going to fill. It's getting there, little by little. Now to fill the bird baths and the bee and butterfly bath. And I also saw some chipmunks sipping from the water on the ground, so I loved that. Well, this is going to be the first time I'm officially using my garden harvesting basket, and I'm just hoping the ground's not too hard. I'm not going to force it, and but I figured I'd give it a try and see how it works. Perfect. Oh, now that excites me. Little things. All right, I gotta make sure I don't interrupt a bumblebee here. I'm just going to grab some black-eyed Susans for a old tin coffee pot that I have that's chocolate brown. I think it's going to look beautiful with these. Come on over. So now I know it works. Well, one thing I noticed is that you can't bring the basket inside and put it on the counter. That's one negative. So I grabbed another of my little harvest baskets, and I'm just going to put my greens in there once I trim them so I can bring them out to the compost pile afterwards. And you know, I might even get some of these pieces of grass. That would be very pretty in there. That wasn't meant to happen. I gotta get my little clippers. Now, I had this pot at my brick and mortar retail store, just found it in storage with its price tag on. I don't even know if it holds water without leaking, so I'm gonna give it a test. Let's see how it goes. I'm just gonna trim these off and make a very, very simple arrangement. Drying them out. Let's see if they perk up. I usually collect my flowers early in the morning, and it is noon right now because of the phone call I got about the bedding. I didn't do what I wanted to do. That's okay. There's plenty more if these don't perk up. The lighting, once again, it's very hard with this southern facing window. I never will have a good light, I don't think, for filming. Unless I have a ring light, which I don't have one here right now. The other day, I dehydrated some of our apples from the apple tree. And then I'm saving some of the corn husks from our corn. And then in the back of the refrigerator, I found 4 lemons and a lime that were passing also. So I ended up dehydrating those. Now, I can't tell which the lime or the lemon was because the lime started turning, but I was going to use the oranges for my tea. I still might, but I could also use it for a garland that I want to make with the apples and these and possibly some ribbon. And I'm going to insert here a little video that I took while I was antique shopping yesterday, and I found this pretty garland, and it was just made with some ribbon and some orange slices and some jute twine. Very simple. I'm going to make something different. I don't have ribbon on hand, but I'll use these a little bit later into the season. I'm heading over to look at the barn again. This morning, I asked the guys to lower the windows just 4 inches. I came home, and now I'm contemplating if I should ask them to put it back. I'm walking back just to look at the plans I have with me and assess what's going on, because everything looks so different on drawings, but I'll have it figured out before Monday. Willow's relaxing. Here's what I was looking at. In the plan, they had the windows lined up with the door, which I usually like to have the windows a little bit at a different height, but at the door is fine. And I had them lower it by 4 inches. This is the door opening and then a window. Bringing it down 4 inches gave me that little bit of an angle that I like. But what I'm noticing is there's going to be a lot more space above it, and 4 inches really doesn't make a lot. And we were looking at things, okay, if there's snow, it will come up to the window, but 4 inches, once again, snow here is not going to be any difference. The snow is going to be there whether or not. And if we went up higher, if we wanted to put a farm table or something here, we could make a bench seat and just have it at that window. So I'm torn. I'm really torn. We were just joking that if I asked them to raise it, which at this point is screws. Luckily, this beam is held on with just screws that are going across. And they would have to do one other in the back. We were joking that I'd probably leave them a bottle of our bourbon with a note, pain in the ass client, asking for one last change, and that the bottle was for actually not just one last change. There'll probably be more in the future. It's not a dilemma, it's just a decision. And here's another reason I'm thinking of going back to where they are. So this is lined up, and then we have the transom above. But on the end here, we have this is an all glass door with black metal framing. And then there's door sliders. These are centered. This is a 9-foot door. And the windows are centered here, which I really like. So I think I'm going to,
ask him to lift these windows before anything else happens. It's better now, making changes now versus regretting it later. And at the top, we were thinking the cupola was going to be way too wide. That's our cupola space up there. It's 5 feet wide, 5 feet high, and then the roof is about another 5 or 6 feet. So it's going to be tall for sure. But he's hoping to get the stairs in soon. They're going to try to seal off the roof, and they're going to have the floor upstairs. And then little by little, they'll be putting up the outside, trying to get it as weather tight as possible, even though we're going to be waiting for windows.
So I thought I would show you a few things that I found and picked up. So first with found, Shannon and I were digging in our house dump the other day, and we weren't even going to dig a lot. We just got home from work, and she was going to head home, and she said, let me go look for a little more pottery, because she makes necklaces out of pottery from sugarwood for our website for the jewelry department. But right away, she found an inkwell, so of course, she kept digging. And then I'm just walking around and looking down, and out of the dirt, I saw the nose of this little metal car. This is the second one I found. The style is from around the 1930s, but I believe this is more of a 50s toy. I'm not sure. It does say made in USA, and the research I am finding said that they did start using that in the late 1800s and went forward, but really became prominent in the 1950s. Same with this inkwell. This says made in USA. But this jar, I'm sorry, I keep calling it a jar, this inkwell does show up around the late 1800s going into the early 1900s. So I'm not sure about the date, but these were pretty close in proximity. Now, when I rent our little mini backhoe that I'm going to be using to get rid of some really deep weeds and ivy and whatnot, I'm going to do a little soft scooping over there to see if we can get down to the 1700s layer, if in fact that's where it is. We have several dumps on the property, so we don't know where it is. And then another thing I found for free at our swap shop at our town dump or our recycling center, there is a building. People will put things in, and we can bring things and take them back and out and whatever. And this little chair was outside, and I grabbed it mainly because I thought it would be cute in the garden to put a pot of flowers on it or a pumpkin when fall comes. But I started looking at it, and it's worse for wear. It has a crack in the seat that you have to hold it in. These are coming out, and then there's also a little crack on the side here of one of the cross things. But I started looking at it, and I'm like, this is handmade. I could tell it's handmade. And I just thought, well, before I do use it outside, I was going to have a professional look at it. So I did bring it to the New Hampshire Antique Co-op, where I buy quite a bit of items. You've seen them in the past, including Caleb's Story. And they looked this over, and their belief it's from the early 1800s. And they think it was a rocking chair because these are absolutely cut off, and they believe it was a rocking chair. Now, what they said was, in this condition, with the seat the way it is and whatnot, it's really lost its value. It has no value at all. So I'm going to probably glue it up, and I'll probably still use it the way I was going to, but I might use it on the porch. I'm not sure if I want to put it outside right now, but knowing that there's no value to it, I might use it just the way I was going to, because it was in the dump. It was going to get trashed if nobody picked it up. So I'm going to glue the seat together, try to glue these pieces in. And it has a pretty little green patina to it, so you'd have to get up close to see it. But I did pick this up when I saw it for the purpose of a potted plant or a pumpkin out in the garden. So I still have to decide on that, what I will do with it. Now, I was also poking around in some shops. I'm trying to get myself inspired for fall. I first started, wait a minute, I'm going to grab something. I'm sorry, I'm skipping around here. I grabbed my Susan Branch book off of the bookshelf. I don't have many of her books, but this one is Autumn. And I pulled it off the shelf the other day, and I've been reading a little bit here and there because I'm not getting in the spirit as I usually do. With everything going on, not feeling well, the construction, the barn build, I needed a little injection of autumn. So I grabbed the book, I was going through it, and then I decided to go to a couple mercantiles and co-ops just to see if I could get that spark because I miss it, even if it's stuff that I use later. And luckily, little by little, I started feeling that little fall vibe, just a little. And I want to just show you 2, maybe 3 things. I'm hoping 3. I hope I didn't change my mind on something. I'm going to show you this after. So the first thing I got is definitely more geared towards Halloween, but it doesn't really say Halloween. And I think the colors are going to look good nearby Queen Bess because it's more of a burnt orange and it's not a bright orange. And it's Salem General Store, broomsticks, herbs, and spirits. So I thought this was really cute. And like I said, it's not that bright Halloween orange that a lot of us know and love. But I'm more towards this, muted color. So I thought that was cute, and I think it's going to look really nice by Queen Bess. I'm looking over at her, or somewhere else here in the kitchen. So I did grab that. Now in this bag is an item I used to make myself a lot, especially at my very, very first store that started in my parents' house. And somewhere I have a CD that was taken probably from 1995 maybe, inside this old woodshed that we converted to a shop. And we made almost everything. And we were open every weekend until Christmas, starting after Thanksgiving. And it is just a little stack of books in some autumn and fall colors. And like I said, I used to make these all the time. And yes, I started to hem and haw say, I could just go to our swap shop and look for these books and then, find some little greenery or something that's burnished like this, and then the ribbon. And then I realized for the price, which I think was $16, I would have had to have gone out and bought ribbon, price of gas to do that, my time. So I decided to pick up this little sweet bundle of books. I don't even know what the titles are, honestly, but one thing I realize I have to change is that one of the books is upside down from the others. I have to change that. But I think that's going to be sweet on just the side of a table, or you could just tuck it right here for now. And it plays nicely with the oranges. So I did pick that up for $16. Like I said, I would have spent that in gasoline and time and buying a ribbon, and so it was worth it for me. And hopefully I grabbed it. Yes, something else is wrapped here. I think I might have shown the video before I show you this that had the long stem of what was already in there? I'm drawing a blank. Help me. My floral stem. I'm just going to call it that because I'm drawing a blank. I can see it in my mind's eye. But this is still the moss from outside. And I'm thinking I want to get something that says autumn that works with it. I hope this is the right size. It's just a little pumpkin that once again is a little more muted. And I think the size is going to be cute actually. So I have that, and I might be able to put it in the cloche because I won't be able to glue it on. I don't want to glue it. So I might put it in the cloche, but I thought that would be cute when I saw that out and about, and I knew I was going to try to keep pumpkins in mind. And I just liked the color of that and the different variation of the burnished orange and the little bit of brown there. And I thought that's perfect. I think that's cute. So that's my little touch of fall right now, except for, let me see, where'd it go? Oh, I think also I showed this mug already too. I picked this up at Williams-Sonoma on outing with Carla and Wanda, 2 friends, and $3.99 because it was a last year's piece. So I got that. Let's see. I'm hungry too, so in a minute I'm going to break for lunch. And the guys still have not shown up for the mattress. Let's see, I'm going to put that here. I didn't film the taking out of some of the flowers I pressed a few weeks ago, but I have some beautiful flowers here. Like, look at this balloon flower. It almost looks like a magic wand. And I have some, I'll lay them out here on the counter and I'll show you a little bit better maybe. I have some of the hydrangea, quite a few of those. And I was really pleased at how they pressed down. What I did was they dried a little, I pressed it and I would tighten it a little bit more and kept doing it so they're nice and flat. I have some of the tall phlox. Once again, I'm so pleased at how they flattened out. And I have some, this is not the spirea, I forget what this was also. My brain is not working. And we have some red turtle head greenery here. We have some, oh, this is mint too. I can see the little bit of mint. This is my apple mint. And some more tall phlox in the pretty purple. So I have quite a few items here. And what my thoughts are is I have a mirror that I was going to dispose of, and it's partially painted. I might paint it a little bit more and decoupage these flowers and the others that you saw me take out of the press and tuck away in its little black box. And I might put these on the mirror and use it in Emma's bedroom. That's the plan. I've never done that before with actual furniture or an accessory like that, but I think it would be cute. And if it doesn't work, so be it. It's an inexpensive mirror I've had for about, I don't know, 20 years from probably Home Goods or TJ Maxx, and I will give that a try. Okay, so that's what I have to show you here, and you've seen some snippets here and there within the video. I think I hear a truck coming, and that could be the mattress. I'll let you know a little bit later. I'm making some more brine. I just did a half a cup of the water, half a cup of white vinegar, and I did a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt. I'm now going to cut the banana peppers, and this time I'm not going to wear a glove. Now, I was very lucky, I guess, last time. I had a lot of you say I should have been wearing gloves while cutting the jalapenos, and my daughter wears gloves all the time. And I didn't even think about it. I am lucky. I didn't touch my eyes. My skin or eyes didn't burn, luckily. And I'm not going to do it this time with the banana peppers because they're mild. But yeah, thank you for letting me know about that, because I didn't. Now, this has got a little hard top. There we are. I'm going to save my tops. So I thought I had some larger canning jars. My daughter gave me a bunch, but like her mom, sometimes she's forgetful. She got to give me the rings and the covers. So got plenty of jars, no rings and covers. So I'm going to use these 3 small ones that I have. I love using banana peppers in my tuna sandwiches sometimes, and of course on salads, on top of pizza. Just like Ben uses the jalapenos, but he likes his spicy. I like mine mild. So I will definitely be planting both of these again next year, and probably in a little larger quantity, and I will end up doing it so that they're more preserved so that I can put them aside and use them throughout the year. So while I was watching these all season, it definitely had to do with that they were just later bloomers than the jalapenos. Just didn't know that. My brine's already coming to a boil. I'm going to shut that off for a second. I don't want it to evaporate.
but I definitely want it still hot while I'm got the jars open. I did it that way. I'm squeezing the top a bit because this has kind of a solid top and then it has the rings. Leaving the seeds. I am so looking forward to getting back in the kitchen and doing some recipes. It was just very hard since February because right behind me is the door to upstairs. So Monday through Friday, we had anywhere from 4 to 5 guys going upstairs behind me, coming out, and it's no longer awkward for me. They've been around since we bought the house, so they're used to me filming, but it's still, it's awkward. I'd have to stop and start, and just wasn't worth it. But I am looking forward to doing some really yummy, delicious meals. Yeah, but I'm gonna reach out to somebody that I do watch, and she made a soup for the first time. And watching her face when she ate it, it was almost having a Meg Ryan type reaction, and I'll have what she's having. So I'm gonna reach out to her and just, you know, see if it's okay if she minds me sharing it or not. I'll also mention who she is and her channel, but it was funny. I'm watching her saying, oh, I have to have some of that soup if it's that good. So, all right, so I'm gonna pour the brine in here. Might just even use a little ladle. Let's see. This amount's going to be perfect, I think. And with the amount of blossoms on the cucumber plant, I have a feeling I'll be making a lot of pickles too. Unfortunately, I only like dill pickles or gherkins, but we'll see. Maybe I have to adjust my brine. Yeah, this is gonna be perfect. All right, I'm just gonna let that cool down a little bit. And I'm just gonna put this back on the stove. So just a little patience. I now have some banana peppers that I'll be able to enjoy soon. So I'm just gonna let that cool just a little bit more, and then I'll cover them up and put them in the refrigerator. Well, the black-eyed Susans perked up, and I have my little tiny touch of fall in a corner of our kitchen. Now here are just a few snippets of my visit to the New Hampshire Antique Co-op and the Milford Marketplace just to get a little inspiration. I love coming across maps for other parts of the world, and then I wonder, do they find maps about New England where they are? And it was during this visit I am really trying to find that spark for my little autumn decorating. And I did like this wreath, but I realized I don't remember what I purchased last year and put aside. And this very large pumpkin that's made of wood, I was actually thinking that would look cute on the outside within my garden gate area next to the kitchen where the trellis is going to be, but I held off. But I couldn't help but looking at it one last time saying it really would be cute there. But I don't know what my Halloween theme's going to be this year, if anything. I say that, but let's be real. I'll have some sort of Halloween decor, but I'm turning 60 this year. It's so busy. I think it will just be probably smaller touches. I really liked this little pillow, but I couldn't envision where I would want to put it right now. I shouldn't have put it back. I'm looking at it right now here on film, and it was really cute. And here is that little garland that I showed you a while ago, or early in the video. And then check out these old cans and old products. All they did was put some little felt on the front. How cute is that? It reminds me of when we made ghosts out of my canisters in the butler's pantry with the flour and sugar. Well, kindred spirits, that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Next week, I hope to have some more updates about things that are going on in the house, and I will see you then. Bye now.